Hey y'all, and welcome to PolitiBrawl. My name is Brian, and Charlie Kirk literally pulls out an Uno reverse card in the middle of this kid's unhinged rant. We really need to reevaluate what's going on in our education system because this kid is just weird. Let's dive in.
All right, what's up, Charlie, right?
Yes, I think I've met you before. Maybe I'm wrong. No?
I don't think so. I don't come to these types of things. But, so, a lot of liberal people say that Trump is authoritarian and different than any other president, right? And you disagree with that. So I was wondering, what's the smallest thing that Trump could do that would, be different and authoritarian and a warning bell in your sign that it's undemocratic, Like, is it running for a third term? What is it?
So you want me to answer a hypothetical?
I want you to make a stance right now that you're saying, I'm never going to take this back. If any president does it, not just Trump, if Joe Biden did it, then it would be, and it can't be, something like, oh, if they took out all the Republicans.
If Donald Trump did what Biden did, which was trying to use the Justice Department to imprison someone that he was running up against, I would speak out against that.
Okay.
When Joe Biden used the Department of Justice to try to put Donald Trump in prison for 700 years, that's the thing that dictatorships are made of. And no one spoke out against it in the media. We acted as if this was normal. Okay, Trump's just going to go to jail for 700 years because he's running for office. Regardless of who's president, you should not lock up the dissident leader. If Bernie Sanders runs for president, we shouldn't try to put him in jail. If AOC runs for president, we shouldn't try to put her in jail. It's bad for the country.
Yeah, so like lock up crooked Hillary, that's like, yeah, like, I get it now. If you say lock up crooked Hillary, then that's like, trying to imprison your dissident, someone who's going against you.
Yeah, well, she lost, actually.
Yeah, okay, so if you win, then it's okay.
Well, no, actually, we didn't control the Justice Department at the time. You following?
Okay, yeah.
Right? Who was president in 2016?
Yeah, it was
Obama.
It was Obama.
Yeah, so when we said lock her up, that was a chant trying to say that someone who broke the law should be held accountable. There was no Justice Department that we controlled. It was Obama. Instead, you have to do you think it was wrong that Trump was hunted down by Biden's Department of Justice for 4 years? Can you disavow that?
Can you say that Joe Biden himself ordered all of that?
Yeah, it was Merrick Garland, who's his attorney general. It's his government. It wasn't like a separate branch of government. So can you say that was wrong? That is dictator stuff. That is third world stuff. Can you say that? Yes or no? Can you say that that was wrong?
Come on, man. I heard that. Well, I hope you all have a good night.
No, was it wrong that they tried to put Donald Trump in federal prison for hundreds of years?
I think that they had genuine concerns. That's my point.
So you're a defender of a dictatorship. Here you come up, be like, oh, what can you say about Donald Trump being an authoritarian? You're a defender of authoritarian practices. So the hallmark characteristic of an authoritarian government is we are going to put the person who is not in political power while we hold political power in jail. They're doing it to Bolsonaro right now in Brazil. Even Putin does it to dissidents in Russia. They do it in China. And yet, you won't even say, nah, this is wrong. This is weird. This is not good.
So Joe Biden's a dictator?
Of course he was.
Okay.
He had authoritarian tendencies in this regard. His entire government did. To say that we're going to lock up the guy that's about to become president, we're going to use the justice system as a way to cheat, that's stuff to the third world. And we should agree that's wrong, right?
Okay, I will say one more thing. I think that saying, the president beforehand was a dictator is not going to be good for the future health of this country because we voted for him.
What is incorrect with what I'm saying? Is it not a hallmark characteristic of third world dictatorships to use the system of criminal justice to put those people in jail? We march in the streets against Putin when he does it.
And Joe Biden is the same as Putin, yeah?
In that regard, absolutely. Yes, in that regard, actually, yes.
All right, Bet, Liddy, I hope you have a great night. I mean that sincerely. I do not think...
So you will not condemn Joe Biden or anyone for trying to put Trump in jail?
I don't think that Trump or Joe Biden has done anything for me as a U.S. citizen to see them as a dictator.
Okay, fine.
And I think that political separation is because of people like you, Joe.
Yeah, okay. Let's say that in the mic, coward. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I think that political separation is because you make your money off of your organization, which says Trump, Trump, Trump.
Okay, then
I love you. Have a good night, everyone.
Can you answer one more question?
Let's go, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, exactly. Yeah, you don't get to keep that. Okay.
Get him into him.
Can you agree that it is
no problem, man.
It
no
is
problem.
wrong to put your political opponents in jail?
I believe it is wrong, and we saw that right before he got elected that they said, turn it all off. I think that we should have had a much deeper investigation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Who wants a hat, everybody?
Who wants a hat, ladies and gentlemen? Indeed, that is the right question to ask here, because I think this kid's going to be a future bartender as well. Because, yeah, this is what happens when you let the left educate and indoctrinate your children. This doesn't happen just at the collegiate level. This happens as early as kindergarten. Don't believe me? Start looking at your child's or your grandchildren's school curriculum, then get back to me. It's awful out there, folks. But there's something rare going on in this video that I haven't seen, I think, ever in a debate. That is, in live time, I got to see a literal Uno reverse card get played. I've never seen this before. This is amazing. This kid comes in thinking that he has this wonderful point to make, that Donald Trump is secretly an evil, vile dictator. Even though he is quite literally being reined in by the courts as we speak, he is obeying court orders. The Supreme Court even agreed with him in the case of Abreu Garcia. And so in these cases, what you end up seeing is Donald Trump is acting inside of the law. The whole point and purpose of the judicial court system at the Supreme Court level and right underneath at the federal court level is to ensure that Congress, the legislature, and the executive branch, that is the White House and Donald Trump, are not overstepping their bounds according to the Constitution. So we have these checks and balances in place, but what happens when we have a president go outside those normal boundaries to literally go after their political opponents? That is what happened under the Biden administration. Joe Biden allowed Merrick Garland to have a raid at Mar-a-Lago, okay? Then Barack Obama himself even allowed the Justice Department to wiretap Donald Trump just in case he was doing anything wrong. Those wiretaps, by the way, proved nothing. Then an entire political party lied about something called the Steele dossier. And that was this fake Russian-based bit of information that was a hit piece on Donald Trump. None of it turned out to be true. So you have a political party trying to take out an opponent through basically illegitimate means. You then have a president, two of them as a matter of fact, trying to do anything they can to either discredit said president or said candidate. And then, by the way, under the Obama administration, it wasn't just fast and furious. Remember that the IRS directly went after the conservative organizations. This was the first major scandal under the Obama administration, and it was an admission that the Justice Department and the White House could weaponize the federal government against anyone they didn't like. It opened the floodgates, and guess what? We're now here. And this kid doesn't see it. This kid refuses to see it. He came out there wearing a 47 hat, and thought that that was going to give himself some cover. And then, like some sort of ridiculous village idiot, he takes off his hat and throws it into the crowd. Why? What kind of performance is this? What kind of theater kid level nonsense is this? And I can say this because I'm a conservative theater kid. I took quite a few years of drama class. I was in drama club. I was awful at it, but I know what theater kids think. Like, this kid is peak theater kid. He is projecting to his friends so he can get his 15 minutes of fame, so he can show everyone in his circles that I stood up to the big meanie Charlie Kirk. And then he has the guts to say that Charlie Kirk is a grifter? Kid, if someone is grifting and then you're giving him airtime, you aren't helping the situation. All right, that's basic logic 101, but this kid hasn't even gotten to that level because that's how bad our education system truly is. They prime these kids for regurgitation. They then force these kids to look at teachers as these wonderful figures of moral authority, as well as the only authority figures when it comes to education. You can only listen to your teachers or your professors or the people that has written some book that you probably never read, even though it was a part of your college curriculum. Meanwhile, just look right behind me. I have read the majority of these books behind me. That's what gave me a better education than college ever did. And our education system prioritizes kids basically glorifying teachers with curriculums that do not ever encourage them to participate in basic logic. If he did, he would have realized that Charlie Kirk could easily turn around that argument and quite literally play an Uno reverse card. Charlie Kirk set this kid up for failure because of the way this kid framed the question. If you ask something along the lines of, well, what would be a truly authoritarian thing for Trump to do? That's a natural trap for this kid to fall into, and he thinks that this is this great question because it then forces Charlie Kirk to say, well, if Trump did X, Y, or Z, the kid can go, aha, Trump did this. Charlie's not dumb enough to fall for that, though. So he turns around and then reminds the kid, this is what happened under the Biden administration, X, Y, and Z. Are you willing to condemn this as dictatorship? The kid refused. All right, again, this is theater kid, just peak liberal theater kid action right here. This is not sane. This is not logical. This is all about emotions and appealing to his own side. And then this kid is primed for this sort of failure, not only because he looks and acts like a theater kid, it's because the education system has not given him a framework to understand what's going on in the world around him. They have only given him a framework to understand what the teachers are telling him. They have primed him to be a good little worker and do what he's told and never to once think for himself. And now that he is in the presence of someone who does think for himself, who does show his logic, who does understand the dictatorship tendencies of the Biden administration, now this kid has no idea what to do. And so he was primed for failure. He absolutely refused to engage in a logical discourse. This kid has no idea what he's talking about, but he's smart enough to know that his peers will praise him for it. This is a problem with our system. Charlie Kirk is doing his best to unwork this, but thankfully, we have the internet. We have people that are truly curious, and this kid, hopefully, he learns his lesson one of these days. Because if you ever find yourself in a situation where a literal reverse card is played on you, then kid, you're out of your league. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on PolitiBrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one.